What is your paranormal experience? I wouldn't say my experience was paranormal, but rather supernatural. 4 years ago, my parents, grandmother and I visited a very prominent temple in northeastern India. The deity, a goddess, is highly revered and has great historical significance too. My parents and grandmother are very religious. I on the other hand am spiritual but not very religious. To add to it, I was going through a very rough phase in life emotionally, and wasn't too enthusiastic on participating in anything per se. When we entered the temple premises, there was an unbelievably long queue to enter the inner sanctum/altar of the temple. It would have easily taken about 2 hours for us to get to the front of the queue. I, being not very religious and disinterested, refused to wait in the queue and told my parents that they should go ahead while I sat on the side and waited for them to return. Although my parents, who are very religious, were really looking forward to it, they chose not to leave me alone and they decided to just pray from outside the temple together and leave. So we walked to the front of the temple facing the entrance to the inner sanctum and stood with folded hands, praying amongst hundreds, literally, of other devotees who were also praying there beside us outside the entrance of the inner sanctum. In that moment of prayer, I truly prayed with all my heart since I was going through emotional turmoil. I wasn't asking for anything, but rather meditating with folded hands and feeling thankful for everything I have. When we were nearly done praying, a cop, since it's a very prominent temple, the security is handled by the police themselves, walked up to my parents, grandmother and I and said, "Follow me." We had no clue who this cop was, we had never seen him before since we had traveled there from another part of the country, we didn't know why he was asking us to follow him and we didn't know why he came up to us specifically amongst the hundreds of other devotees there. So we followed him, he took us to the side of the temple, opened up a barricade and proceeded to walk us straight into the inner sanctum right in front of the deity, all while a supermassive queue waited on the other side for this opportunity. We couldn't believe it. We were standing right in front of the deity. We prayed, received the flowers and prasadam, religious offering, from the priest of the inner sanctum and came out. This whole thing must have taken 5 minutes at most. Once we were out, we wanted to thank the cop for taking us in there, so we looked for him but we couldn't find him anywhere in the temple premises. We walked up to the other cops and asked for him, even described his appearance, but they said there wasn't anybody there matching the description. After the trip we traveled back home and within a week's time, multiple things in my life both academically and emotionally which were causing me great torment over the past couple years, all changed for the best. The whole experience was something out of this world. It almost felt like the deity herself sent somebody to bring us close to her and hear all our prayers even if we didn't spell it out for her. That's an incident that will stay with me forever.